Good evening, Reds. Welcome to the pre-match build-up. It's the last game of the season against Aston Villa at Old Trafford. They are chasing Champions League football, and we're just trying not to be shit, I suppose, is probably the best way to put it. We're trying to salvage any form of reputation that we've got whatsoever. Will it be done with this team? We've got Bayende in net, Lenny Yoro, Maguire. We've not got Fredrickson. We've definitely not got that. Let me switch it up because that is not the team. I don't know why he's in that starting lineup. It's Bayende, Lindelof, Maguire, Heaven, Mazraoui, Bruno, Cass, Dorgu, Mount, Ahmad, and Hoyland. That is the actual team. I don't know why. There's a different one on there, but I will certainly get that for you right now whilst I'm talking. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why that was on there. Maybe that was my predicted one that I've accidentally put on there or something. No idea. But this is your actual team. There we go. Yeah, so Lindelof, Maguire, Aiden Heaven, Maguire, Casemiro, Bruno, Dorgu, Ahmad, Hoyland, and Mount. Dan is alongside me to go through this team. Are you surprised Alejandro Garnacho completely left out of the team as well, Dan?
No, not surprised. That was always expected. But harsh on, he has lost his, kind of a last game, farewell game. He has lost by himself by putting up that, that message out itself. Yeah, totally unprofessional. But I think that's the only way you can fix this kind of mentality when you are in the team and how you need to behave. When people come in, they will see like this. These kind of acts are not allowed in this team. So that's the place where you are making your standards known to other players. So I'm not surprised that Garnacho is not getting the game time. So even I expect if I'm the manager, I would have done the same thing, regardless of whether we are playing the Champions League final or something. But yeah.
Well, I've not really had a chance to speak to you about it yet. Obviously, with me, Sam, Chivish, right, I've all spoke about the Garnacho situation. But what was your take on that when you saw the comments after the game? When you saw him basically calling the team shit and saying that he should have started and all this kind of stuff. What was your initial reaction, especially when it's fresh straight after a final that we've just lost?
Yeah, to be honest, I was numb for a couple of days. I didn't feel anything. After that loss. But yeah, when I get back to my normal, mentality, when I reflected back on what has happened after the game. So I was really shocked to see. Such kind of, but you've already seen the glimpses from him coming out before itself, and I was not that much shocked because I know that the player has done this before, and now when he has come out and said these things again, I was like, that is the last game for him as well. But as a player, you need to understand how the club work is not only how you behave on the field, but off the field also you need to behave well. Right? Whatever he has said, that is true. But then again, you can't say that. Open in front of everyone. But yeah, the frustration sometimes just shows like how big a player you are by controlling your frustrations off the field, and this will definitely be kind of a point of concern, a point of kind of a condition wherever he is going to play in the next season, that the opposite club will definitely see this matter through and will be reluctant to buy him. Maybe just looking out at the behavior, especially those teams who look out for these kind of behaviors, definitely they will not come for him. And with Manchester United, definitely you know that sometimes the players' ability just kicks into their heads. Oh my god! Like my light. Anyhow, that was expected. This kind of was becoming like a Pogba thing. So definitely we don't need these kind of players. I know that I have been a fan of him, not fan, but not a proper fan. But I know that I wanted to start him every game. In the January also, I mentioned like we can't. We can't. I can't see him go out of the club in the winter season because I know that we don't have the backup plan, and that's where I wanted him to continue with the team. I would have even enough. I would have loved to see him also in the next season as well. But his behavior, after that comment, I've just lost all hopes on him to that he can correct himself back, because this has already happened, and you have seen that whatever these kind of things has happened to the players, like players Sancho and Pogba. You have seen that they didn't have the future in Manchester United. So I think that's the place where you need to part ways with that player.
Well, we've got quite a few people joining us. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. James in the chat, MUFC forever. We've got Sam mentioning that Ugarte isn't there either, which we'll get into momentarily. James McGrogan, why bother with Rasmus? Ideal time for Cheeto to have a good game. We'll also speak about that. Nath is saying Onana. I hope he's on the Garnacho bus as well. Yep, he's not a part of the squad either. Apparently, Shaw and Xerxes injured again. Xerxes been rushed, and we just need to offload that useless left back. Thanks, Garnacho, for everything. We'll always love Garner. Miss you. That Pratt Onana's reportedly upset about his pay going down 25% for no Champions League when he's one of the primary reasons for that happening. So looking forward to this clear out. Yeah, guys, smash the like. Yeah, so as always, when we do these pre-match build-ups, we always try to go through the team with a fine-tooth comb from goalkeeper to striker. Bayern starting in net. This situation with Onana is very interesting, isn't it, Dan? Because from reports that we're seeing, we know Ruben Amorim doesn't seem to be a fan, and you can understand why. The fans certainly aren't a fan of the player either. We're not as a community, because we spoke about it a million times. Do you think there'll be a huge push to get him out this summer?
Yeah, definitely. You've seen that he has made kind of more mistakes than what De Gea has done in his whole career.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that in itself says like you need to move on. And when you are building from the back and you are doing such silly mistakes that has cost us game, and that in itself is not acceptable. With him, I know that, I mean, when he came to the club, and he came when he was at his peak of his career, and when he came and he won the Champions League, and I mean, he was at his top of his form, and when he came here, and it got totally, I mean, opposite of it what we have seen. And I mean, it's not only that he is not able to I mean, develop his connections with the defenders, but it's like when he is at his own and he's making a lot of mistakes, and that in itself just shows like, I mean, you cannot, I mean, depend on him anymore. Then definitely you have to switch on to some other players. And definitely at this point, I'm not sure like who will be getting in, but at this point, I think he's I mean, Amorim has lost his hope on him as well, because I mean, with the we have given so many chances, and even he has done a lot of mistakes. Even after that, we have not, I mean, switched up to Bayern or given Bayern the chance, enough chances. And I know that even whenever he was given the chance, also he was not. Bayern was also not that great, but when you see that your main goalkeeper is not performing well, then definitely you have to do something else. Goalkeeper is the place where goalkeeping is the place where you start your the confidence of the team starts to build up. And when you see that, I mean, when you see that next season, if the players on field players will look at the goalkeeper making such mistakes, that in itself will cause that lot of confidence to be dropped. And that's where I can see him in the plan of Amorim in the future.
You know what? It's surprised me how bad both keepers have been, to be honest with you, but particularly Onana. If you look at when we signed him, you know, the performances he was putting in the Champions League for Inter Milan, reaching a final, you know, and just being, I think he actually officially got named the best goalkeeper in that tournament, in the Champions League tournament. So initially when we did sign him, I remember at the time there was me, Adam and Sam, I think it was, who broke the news when we signed him. And we was looking at the deal, and we was like £42 million, I think it was. And then let's say 100k a week, 120k a week, something around those kind of fees, right? The region. And I was looking at it, and I was like, that's a really good deal for someone who's just been, you know, doing so well in the Champions League. I hadn't watched loads of him at Inter Milan, I will admit. I'd seen more bits at Ajax and stuff. Obviously, he played against us in the final as well, in the Europa League for Ajax, but obviously a lot younger then. But since he's come, I mean, he's been catastrophically bad, Danny Onana. Like, I can't believe how bad he's been. There was a lot of United fans, including ourselves, and we've spoken about David De Gea, you know, loads. And to be fair, towards the end of his kind of tenure, whatever you want to call it, he was making mistakes. He made mistakes against Sevilla, Everton, West Ham. That Ben Rama one that he did was shocking. But in reality, when you do a comparison, Onana's probably done that 5 times over, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I remember like we were discussing in the chat, like I mean, the counting the mistakes he has done. He has crossed that. I mean, the comparison between the De Gea's fault and his fault, I think he has crossed that even long before, and he has been only for a couple of seasons here. So I mean, and that in itself, I mean, it's not building up that confidence in the team, and with the level of Onana, because even I have seen him playing. I mean, when he was at Ajax, and I used to, I mean, watch Real Madrid games as well at that time when Ronaldo was there, and he has played. I mean, Real Madrid. There was a match between Real Madrid and Ajax. I still remember that he stopped all the shots from Ronaldo, and that was all the saves he has made. I was really, I mean, amazed to see that, and I was able to, I mean, kind of compare that thing when we bought Onana here, and I was very confident that he can replicate that form here. And I was very confident that we will at least we have someone at the back who can dictate the game and who is. And so many videos were coming out when he came here, like I mean, the crosses, I mean, the goal kicks and goal kicks going to the right players and that kind of stuff we have seen in the videos. And we haven't seen none of that here. I mean, I mean, the repeatedly the things that he does is, I mean, he just kind of, I've been saying it many times, like whenever he's facing a shot, he's kind of guessing it and just jump towards that place. And
Yeah.
that thing has been repeating again and again. His positioning have been poor, and his crossing, I mean, every time he gets the ball and he just crosses to Hoyland, and Hoyland just, I mean, kind of just makes bad out of it. So, I mean, I'm not sure whether that the team's fault or the weakness of the team has fall upon Onana, or it is the vice versa thing. But anyways, I mean, it's not working out. So just let move on from it. I think we may get somewhere around 20-30 for him at this point.
Mm.
I would personally go with. I know we have been discussing about this, and we were, I mean, okay with the very kind of a senior players. But at this point, when we are seeing this is going towards the proper build.
Oh, your mic's cut off, Dan. I think your audio might have cut off. Whilst you're sorting that, I absolutely agree with what you were saying. I think with him being brought in as well for his distribution, and you've seen him playing out from the back, you can't believe, you're like, this is not the same goalkeeper. I haven't seen patterns of bits of play out from the back, whether it's short, medium, long, whatever it is. The odd time he's played a ball and you're like, oh, fucking hell, let's reach the attacker, or maybe we've got a goal from it. But the primary reason he was brought in was because, okay, De Gea makes too many mistakes and he can't play with his feet. Now he's come in, Onana can't play with his feet, and he's made more mistakes. So he has gone down as one of the worst signings, and he almost epitomizes Erik ten Hag's recruitment of the players that he's brought in. Like, his recruitment over the past couple of years has killed us. Absolutely killed us with a lot of the players. I mean, you can really dive into it, but yeah, sorry, continue your point. No. Not on.
I was on mute.
There we go.
Not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have to change him. I mean, we have to go somewhere else. And when we are already deciding to have a kind of a proper build up, I mean, kind of I mean, building this team up again from the ground level, then why not? I mean, sell him and clear all your kind of the players who are not good enough and who are not reliable. And I think I would from my side, I would go with kind of a young player. I mean, that kind of a situation where we got De Gea at the beginning, very young and very promising, with high potential, and he lasted for so many years. So I want that kind of a goalkeeper. I don't want a goalkeeper to just go and just have him for 1 or 2 years and then go for another goalkeeper, because that chemistry starts from the goalkeeping position. So I would rather go for a kind of a young goalkeeper who is somewhere around 2023. But then again, it's very hard to find that kind of a goalkeeper who can straightly go into a team of Manchester United, where you need, I mean, next year there is kind of a situation where there is no place for errors, and you're playing only for one aim, that is Premier League, and you cannot make so many mistakes. But yeah, there are not a lot of options available when you are looking for a young goalkeeper. But then, I mean, I would prefer a younger one. But anyhow, if you are getting a good experienced goalkeeper, then also I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you have to think about the club, the size of the club as well. You've seen goalkeepers come here and basically just be kind of starstruck or startled by the lights and not perform to the best ability. There's going to be a lot of big names being cleared this summer who have been first teamers. I have absolutely no doubt about that. We were speaking in the chat earlier on before, and we will go through the rest of the team, I promise, but it's just kind of prompt a thought in my head. It was going through before. Ruben Amorim, when he first went into Sporting Lisbon, he ripped out that squad completely. I mean, he got rid of like 20 players, and a lot of them were favourites and senior players, and was an unpopular decision at the time. But what he did, he went and he pushed a load of players from the youth who he believed would suit the system and fit really well. He brought in a couple of experienced players from around Europe, and a few other, like, tweaked a few other little bits as well. And then do you know what he did the following season? He lost once all season in the thing and won the league. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that's going to happen in the Premier League, because the Premier League is a completely different beast, and even teams near the bottom, Ralph Rangnick will tell you as well, can beat anyone at any given moment, right? So the Premier League is uber competitive. But I'm saying there is a theory there, there is actual real life evidence that he's done this before. So when you see names that dropped out of the squad today, I mean, even Ugarte, he's not played the last couple of games. He was someone who played under him at Sporting Lisbon as well. Onana being dropped, Garnacho being dropped, these kind of names. You've got Rashford, Antony, everyone out on loan. Like, this could end up being the biggest summer ever.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, maybe this could be possible. Like, Amorim have given the players the chance so that they can say the last goodbye. So that's where I don't see Ugarte leaving at this point, because he looked not he's compared to the other players, he's kind of a better than others. But yeah, I think if you see that lineup, I think for most of them, Lindelof is there. I mean, Casemiro, I think it's the last game for him as well. Mason Mount, Hoyland. Mason Mount also, I'm still 50-50, not sure. But Hoyland, I think he will be moving out. So today's game is kind of a farewell for most of the players who have, kind of behaved well. I mean, even though the Garnacho thing is little different, but yeah. It needs as you mentioned, like, he has done that before. And the team actually requires that. Even Ronaldo has said that many times and before itself. And long back he has said that the problem is, everybody is the part of this problem, and then you need to clear out everything. You can also see that he is trying well to bring out the youth players into the team, and you have seen that many players like Heaven. I mean, before this, the managers like Erik ten Hag and Ole has brought in couple of players from the youth system, but you have seen that what Amorim has building up and is giving chances to the youth players, then itself is showing like he has intentions to bring out players from the youth system, and that also helps us in generating the revenue as well, because when you give the chances to these players, the other club sees that what they are capable of, and they go into the market and throw their budget on these kind of players as well. So big summer, interesting to see what will happen in the coming next month, but I would again say, like, let's do it quickly so that we can prepare ourselves for the next season and go for it all out. And hope that stats which you have read about Amorim, clearing out everything and getting the good results. Hope that works out. But listened about these kind of the stats even for Erik ten Hag also. But I hope that this happens. So I just want I'm not just trusting it completely.
I get it,
because it has been there with ten Hag as well. But then again, if it happens, but yeah, definitely if Amorim is. If you clear out 20 players, then definitely something new is going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
with Ten Hag as well, we saw that everyone was speaking about the possession stats, weren't they, with Ajax, and how he has like 73% possession per game, and he's got an average like two points per game, I think it was, like all these goals that have been scored. And then he came to United, and we saw the football there that happened, and it was just like, yeah, this is not what we expected at all. Speaking about Ten Hag though, he has just got a job with Bayer Leverkusen, which I think is very, very interesting. He's the new manager of them. That's been confirmed earlier on today, so I'm fascinated to see. I'm going to actually watch their first couple of games just to see what kind of style of football. If you just see the midfield, like, big giant gap between the forward line and the defence, and the midfielders running, trying to fucking chase. But yeah, just back to the thing we were speaking about with Amorim. Ronaldo did famously say, didn't he, to Piers Morgan, as Picasso said, you have to destroy it to rebuild it, and if they start with me, then for me it's not a problem. Maybe this is what we need, just complete knock down the whole building. It's been rotting away for years, and then just build it up, because one thing you have got with United at the minute is you have got an academy with a lot of promising players. They have bought a couple of players in Heaven and Cheeto, for example, who look good as well. Like you've got a base of really young, talented players. You just need that blend of experience with them now, and also quality, like your Cunhas and whoever else may come through the door. So I think this summer's going to be really, really fascinating, and maybe we can come back to that towards the end of the thing. I just want to go through the squad because we started with the goalkeeper and then we went off on a tangent through the rest of the summer. Lindelof, Maguire, and Heaven is your back line. I mean, whenever you see Lindelof and Maguire in the back line, it's worrying signs, isn't it, Dan? Also, Lindelof's last game as well.
Yeah, I mean, Lindelof and Maguire combination has, I mean, haunted us for a long time.
Yeah.
we have craved for, these to be replaced from the long back, and it was not working out. But still, here we are. I mean, but yeah, good for Maguire that he has rejuvenated his career back in especially in Amorim system. But with Lindelof, I think when Maguire and Lindelof was playing together, I mean, with the back four previously, I think Lindelof was the better as compared to Maguire, in my opinion. But I mean, I would have given more chances to Lindelof because here and there. But anyhow, we need if you are to challenge the title or the top four next season, then definitely you have to move these players. But yeah, he has been, even though he has not been given that much chances, he has not got that much chances, but still the support he has given through the bench, I think that was remarkable. I mean, the team spirit is remarkable in his sense. The professionalism was there. I hope all the best for him for his future wherever he goes. Maybe he can become kind of a top defenders elsewhere. Maybe in Italy league, in Serie A, he can be very good defenders there.
Like
but
all the other United defenders who've gone.
yeah. Any United player, if they go to Serie A, I mean,
Italy.
they are getting. I mean, they'll be
Yeah.
like they are the contenders for the Ballon d'Or. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So but yeah, I mean, with Lindelof, I think the ability that the level was there. I mean, to some extent, the threshold we have seen, and we need more than that threshold
Oh yeah.
abilities in the teams. So.
Yeah.
That's where, I mean, all good with Lindelof. It's just kind of a happy ending and happy departing of the player.
But
So
for me, Lindelof, I would describe, if someone was to say, right, rate his time at United whilst he's been here, honestly, and people might think this is harsh, I would call him a 5 out of 10 player. I think he's been below average quite a lot. I think he's had a period under Ten Hag where he was playing, I think it was alongside Varane, I think it was, or Shaw, where he was a good 6 months. I think he was really, really good, and I was like quite happy with it. But for the majority of the time, I'm not going to look back at his career and be like, wow, thanks for the moments, Victor. Do you know what I mean? Not one of them. It's just kind of like, I'm glad he's getting a send-off. And obviously, he's been here since 2017, I think. It's been like 8 years, Victor.
Yeah.
He's been here quite a while. Under Mourinho, Solskjaer, Ten Hag, now Amorim, a couple of interim managers in between as well. So he's been here for a hot minute. So I've got no kind of, disrespect or anything like that towards him. But I'm kind of happy it's his last game because we need more quality defenders. And with the likes of Aiden Heaven, Lenny Yoro, Fredrickson, for example, I would rather give them more opportunities than someone like Victor Lindelof. But let's go to the comments because I've been ignoring them for too long. Nave saying, I think this lack of European football is exactly what we need. Trim the squad and bring the youth and make some proper signings. I do like that comment. Yeah, I'm a fan of that. Could we skip forward to the transfer window? That's what Shreyas is saying. Only thing worse than this is relegation. Charlie Malman saying, is Ugarte carrying a knock? I've not seen anything on him at the minute. I know Garnacho has been dropped, and I'm pretty sure Onana's been dropped, but Ugarte, I'm not entirely sure. It could well be an injury. I'm sure we'll hear about it when we dive into the manager's quotes.
Just consider this as a preseason.
Yeah. Preseason against Villa, and then we go to Malaysia, in Hong Kong, we do all that, and then the transfer window starts. My Damn United saying, hi guys, joining late and rewinding to start to catch up. Hope you're all good. Hope you're good too, brother. Charlie saying there's now showing team. Did he get injured again? Walking to his car. Oh, Shaw, sorry. Did Luke Shaw get injured walking to his car? I think he is injured again. That's what I've read. Xerxes and Shaw injured. Xerxes forced back too much for the final, and Shaw just being Shaw. James McGregor saying, Nick, would you sell Bruno? Well, we can get into the midfield now. We've got Cass and Bruno Fernandes starting today. All this news around Bruno, Dan, could potentially be his last game at Old Trafford. Do you believe the rumours?
I don't believe that, but anything can happen in this summer. But personally, I would not be happy if he goes because he's the only player that would stand. He's the last player I would like to let him go. But I mean, but then again, you can generate a lot of money out of him. But again, then I mean, I'm not happy for him to leave at this point. I mean, I think Bruno himself has said it before, like if once only the club sends him away, then only he will go. I mean, but I think club will keep him at this point. I mean, sending Bruno will be kind of a disaster to, in my opinion. You will not get that level of player again in the market. Then again, you have to spend a lot of more money out that. And but again, with the Bruno thing, I think I mean Amorim needs to find a better place for him. I don't think that mid pivot of Bruno and Casemiro is not that great. I would like to see him at that number 10 role and not in the midfield
But Dan,
area. And yeah.
do you think he's great in that role as well though? In the when he plays as a 10, like it doesn't seem a like for like fit. I think under Ole when he was playing as a 10 maybe. But I feel like Amorim has refined his game slightly when he does drop into midfield, and he's not as risk taking and not as hitting those Hollywood passes. So I think he's refined his game in that sense. But it doesn't feel right, does he, in either one, like fully right? And it's weird to say, even though he's got like 20 goals and 20 assists.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean the number 10 role. I'm more. I mean when I say that number 10 role, I like that 4-2-1. I mean that 4. I mean the 1 role when he's the lone. I mean cam role. But at this point in this system, I don't think he'll be able to gel well with that number 10 role, because in this system, especially, you need the number 10 with high pace, and Bruno is not having that much pace, and that because they have to do that winger job as well. So I don't want to see. I mean, in some cases, like when we play against the kind of tougher teams, then that's fine, because in that case you can play Bruno on the top so that you can have more players in the midfield who can do the defending job. So. But on the regular basis, I'm not happy, or I'm not comfortable seeing Bruno in the midfield. But because I have seen that in a lot of chances, whenever he's given, he's not that disciplined enough. He takes a lot of pressure.
Oh, your mic's gone off again. We'll get it back. Yeah, it's like news shows, it cuts off on him and Sky Sports, and they're like, oh, we've lost him. We'll go back to him again. Yeah, we'll come back to you. Don't worry about that. I'll read out a couple of comments and then we'll dinger. United do get 20 million for doing that tour in China. I know, but it's just like, I bet the players can't be asked for that. Andy's saying, I'm sorry. I hope all the players are there for the lap of disgrace because they all deserve what's coming to them. Yeah, we'll discuss the atmosphere and the reaction from the fans, what we're anticipating in the stadium towards the end as well. We've still got a few players to get through. Dan, do we have you back? Let's see. He's nodding. Is he speak? No, he's not speaking.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, there we go.
I mean,
yeah,
I think the mic is, at that very low charge, and I have to charge it.
Right. Okay, no problem. Go on. Can you remember what you were saying?
Yeah. With the Bruno thing, I think, you need to play him in the better spot where he is well capable of. I don't think with the Amorim system, Bruno is fit well in that midfield. I know that he's not. His nature is like that. He will not get that much, controlled over himself. And whenever the game is not going in our way, he will definitely react and put us into trouble. But I'm happy if that discipline is come into him and he is more controlled in that midfield. That I'm happy with that. But again, I've not seen that discipline in him at this point. So that's where I'm still not able to figure out whether he's good enough for that role in the midfield.
We also have Mazraoui and Dorgu starting a wing back. And to be honest with you, I don't know why Mazraoui's starting. I would have, not because I don't like him, I think he's a good player, but that guy has been played into the ground. He's dead on his feet. So, why could you have not started Dalot? Is Dalot injured? I'm pretty sure he's on the bench. Can you not start a full 90? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I would have liked to maybe put Dorgu on the right and then Amas on the left. It's the last game of the season. So that one was a little bit weird for me. Patrick Dorgu as well is an interesting one. It was a player who me, Shreyas, and Sam spoke about, yesterday when we was doing the tier list, which people should check out, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Really good show where we do summer 2025 clear out, basically, and all kind of different categories. But we spoke about Dorgu, and I felt like at least, Dorgu and Yoro were probably our better players in the final. And they're some of the youngest players who've just joined the club. I know there's a lot to work on for him, but do you think there's something there with Dorgu in terms of his profile and his system?
I think when he came to our team, and I mean, he was showing the bits and pieces here and there that he is kind of a very good player, and he even we were talking about the price tag we got him for. I mean, that is kind of a, I mean, we got him for cheap. The performance he has put in when at the beginning of his career in Manchester United, I think he looked very promising. But at the days passed by, he was looking little. He was struggling to get into this team. To his qualities, and he was unable to make the difference in the team. But at this point, I mean, he has that pace, he has that the physicality. I mean, he always. I think with Dogu, I think that the room for improvement is always there. So I would rather keep him at this point. But if you are getting any better player than him, then definitely we can go for it. But with the budget concerning the loads of clear out, I would rather keep him on the kind of a below list to be shifted out, because he was not that bad, and the room for improvement is there with the age and his
Mhm.
abilities we have seen on the pitch. So I think I would rather keep him until we clear out all the other positions.
Yeah, he's definitely got things to work on. I think defensively it can be a bit of a liability at times. I look at the goal that Tottenham scored in the final. I think him and Shaw were both at fault for that. I look at the goal at Bournemouth where the ball's been played out again between him and Shaw, and they pinch it off, and Semenyo ends up scoring. So he's definitely had moments where you're like, oof. But I also like some of the stuff, like his strength on the ball. He's definitely like up for it in terms of the Premier League. When he gets to the byline, he's putting crosses into the box. He definitely should have had a couple of assists for Rasmus, who is also starting today. Are you surprised? And again, saying people to everyone in the chat as well that he's starting and Cheeto isn't. You think the amount of games Rasmus played this season? I think it's 50 plus now at this point. He's obviously had more than enough opportunities to show if he could do it or not, which is he's clearly failed at. Why not start Cheeto in this game, Dan?
I mean, I would have definitely given him all the youth players their chances in this last game. With Hoyland, I'm not sure what he has done in this season to get the place in the starting lineup, and
Yeah.
maybe that could be possible that this could be his last game as well. So that's where
Mm.
he's playing. And Chido is kind of a look more kind of a high potential for the future. So that's where Amarim will keep Chido and shift out Hoyland if he gets somewhere around 30-40 million. I think already there are interest from the other leagues on
Good.
Rasmus.
Good, because we
Yeah.
fucking need it. I don't know how they're interested if they've watched in the season, but
Yeah.
if there is interest.
I think definitely they will quote kind of a very lower price, because they have, I mean, we don't have a kind of a showing thing to, I mean, show for Hoyland
Yeah.
to show like he has done these things and all. And I mean, definitely the other clubs are coming in for Hoyland just because he's young, and they can get him for cheap. Maybe somewhere around 30 at this point, whatever he has performance based. But at this point, I would have definitely required, I mean, asked Chido, I mean, expected Chido to start this game, because you can, if you are definitely going for, I mean, farewell for Hoyland, you can bring him on at 60-70 minutes, and you can just give him the chance. But Chido, I think he's the player to go for in the next season as a kind of a supporting role on the bench. So you have seen the potential, the abilities he has in him. With Hoyland, I mean, I've lost all my hopes on him,
Yeah,
and
everyone has.
it
Everyone.
still hurts, man. It still hurts that we got him for so many. I mean, the
70
amount which we
million
got.
pounds.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
That is up. That's mad, isn't it? 70 million quid for him is crazy. Again, when we was doing the tier list yesterday, Chivy was laughing his head off. He was like, I don't know. I mean, I've been saying this about him for ages. I don't know how United spent that amount of money on him. He was saying he's one of the worst strikers he's seen. Was just like, yeah, I've had enough. I've had enough, and I need to see someone different. So I do think it's fascinating to see who they're going to bring in the summer. And there's, Delap and Osman have been mentioned, but I think it's probably going to end up being Liam Delap, and even that in itself is a bit of a risk. But we've got plenty of the summer to speak about that. Mount and Ahmad starting alongside him. Ahmad probably the standout player in the final, as well as one of the attacking players, I think, against Tottenham. Mason Mount and the Garnacho situation is interesting, isn't it? Because I know a lot of people will, with this narrative, will be like, well, Garnacho started every game. He's scored, 11 goals, 10 assists in all competitions. Why are you dropping players like that? But then it's more about the message, isn't it? Like, Mason Mount is someone who Amarin has described as a very, very hungry player. One of the most hard-working players he's ever come across, and his application, everything off the pitch is so professional. So is he right in doing what he's doing with Garnacho, but also with Mount, with the injuries, there's worries there as well, isn't it? You can't really rely on him as a player either.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm saying this from the long time, very long time when we got Mount, because we didn't need that kind of a player in the team. I mean, to in my concern, because I see Mount as a player who plays on the same position as Bruno Fernandes when we were playing kind of under Enik Ten Hag with that formation. But again, I mean, you know that he's a nice guy. I mean, he has the abilities,
He's
the
a nice guy.
potentials, the yeah, the nice guy. I mean, yeah,
When you signing
I
a
mean,
player
yeah.
like, yeah, he's a nice guy.
That's what we have done till now.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, more than that nice guy thing, I mean, he has the abilities, the potential, the background, the history, the experience is there. But again, it's not working out for him in this system. I mean, in my opinion, I still don't see him. I mean, fit in this system, because I know that he works well in some other kind of system where, I mean, you play a more free role on the attacking wise. But with this system, I don't see him working. But I know that he has performed well in one or two games where he has scored and assisted as well. But in the long run, I don't see him being consistent in that role. So if I get somewhere around 40, 30, 40, I would definitely will shift him and get someone else, because I can see that it's not working out. I mean, and maybe for even I mentioned that when we were having the preview, I mean pre game for the final, even I was shocked to see Mount starting, because he was, I mean, his stats, if you see, like he was better when coming on out of the bench, but starting role, and we haven't still that seen that confidence that he has given to the team. I mean, with his performances, so it's had been on and off with him, and we need players who are consistent well enough. I mean,
Yeah.
we have so many players who can perform really great on consistent basis in other teams or other clubs or other leagues.
Mm.
But is United, it's not working out, then I mean, we have to look out somewhere else.
Yeah, you saw the 30-minute cameo when he came on against Bilbao at Old Trafford when he scored twice. That was like, that's the player that I've been waiting for so long. That's why I've been relentlessly backing it and saying there is a player there. Like I've seen him. I've watched him a lot for Chelsea. I've watched him a lot for England. I know there's a player there, but when he started in the final, I was like, okay. In my opinion, I felt I'm quite happy with that decision, because the thought process going into it, the players pressing from the front, like I understand it, and systematically, he suits it a lot more. But I thought his performance in the final was so underwhelming, and not just him. Obviously, there was loads of other players, but it just didn't give me what I wanted. Again, there was probably 7, 8 players on that list. I mean, Bruno as well was absolutely awful. So I don't know what happened in there. I'd rather not speak about it. But yeah, whatever way you look at it, whatever way you want to spin it, I mean, there were potentially, you could see 8, 9 massive names go this season if you can sell them. That's the question, because who's going to buy Mason Mount? Who's going to buy Luke Shaw? It's going to be difficult, right? Who's going to buy Casemiro with the wages that he's on? This is always the issue that we've had. So it's all well and good saying, yeah, we want to get rid and sell him. It's not always that easy, as we've seen from previous summers. On the subs bench, Dan, we've got Tom Heaton, Dallo, Fredrickson, Evans, Collier, Ugarte, Ericsson, Mainu, Chido, Obe. With Johnny Evans, it's funny, innit? Do you remember how much he featured under Eric Ten Hag when he was supposed to be just training with him for a season? And then end up playing, I think it was like 30 games for us, and end up being an important player. And now under Amarin, we've not seen him at all, have we?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, with Eric Ten Hag, I mean, when he was there, I mean, with Evans, I think we didn't had much options to play there in the certain center back, because everyone was getting injured, and we were left with only Evans. And we were saying like I mean, how fortunate we are to get Evans in the very last moment and with the very last price, and
Yeah.
here he is, and he's playing for us, kind of a very prime, I mean, defender. How he used to be in his previous tenure. But with Amorim, I think there have been so many options with defender with getting. I mean, when we compare that time and now that we had Delict and Euro and the youth systems also players coming out. So definitely Evans will not get that much chances. That was clear to see. But yeah, he has been a great servant for the club. I mean, the supporter. I mean, maybe I hope that he is involved with the club. Maybe outside the playing. I mean, outside the field, he will be involved in that, because that. I mean, again, that character is. I mean, that you need such characters somewhere around the team. to have that support and put in that experience on the players.
Oh, your mic's gone again. Yeah. Johnny Evans was listening. He's tearing up. If you want to take a moment to yourself, Dan, that's fine. I'll just quickly go through the Aston Villa team, should I say. Martinez, Cash, Consort, Pau Torres, Matson, Kamara, Onana, Rogers, Asensio, McGinn, and Watkins. I mean, that is quite a strong team. And don't forget, people, Aston Villa are still chasing Champions League football, so they are going to be well up for this game. They know the record at Old Trafford, they know the form that they're in. I think 7 wins in the last 10 games, I think they've got. Watkins has started scoring again. This could end up being a horrible game, genuinely. I mean, Rogers, Asensio, just going to be a nightmare for Old Trafford. What kind of expectations do we all have as well? Do we expect bit of fight, bit of quality in today's game after that shocking display in Bilbao, or are you expecting more of the same, Dan?
I mean, I'm still not sure like what to expect out of this game. I'm like already I've considered this as a preseason. So I mean, yeah, just play a decent football. I mean, yeah, definitely win will at least reduce 1% of kind of a hatred towards them. But yeah, if I mean, it would be good for everyone to go out of this season with a win, with a good performance, with a strong performance. Maybe build up something to show for and something to cherish for this. I mean, kind of the break that we are going to have after this. And definitely, I mean, people will be expecting. I'm not. It's interesting to see how fans will react today, because I mean, this is the first outcome of them after that defeat. And I mean, from my side, I would definitely expect a strong comeback and a win, a proper win, just to at least, I mean, kill someone else's chances for the Champions League will kind of, we have come to that
So, yeah,
place.
that's our accomplishment for the season. United finished 16th, but Villa didn't get into the Champions League because of us. That's the only accolade we could take away from this season, because we've been absolutely dog shit. Charlie saying Dorgu, I like him. Really good at stealing the ball. Does need to work on his crosses, but it would help having a striker to actually be on the end of the crosses. Pat saying Rasmus last game, he's moving on. Add that to the list. My damned is saying Shaw got injured by Nick's Kersey yesterday. James, 1 click to move him from the full squad section. Right, he's alluding to the tier. What video is it called? Tier system? Tier transfer tier? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that show. Anyway, Connor's in the chat. Big up Connor. Can we still get a full sale of the club? I don't know. I'm not the guy to answer that question, but I take your point. If you was the manager today, Dan, who would you have started in your mind? Who do you think you should have gone with, or maybe got a farewell, or one of the, I don't know. Who would you, or a couple of players, give us?
I mean, definitely I would have started Chido. I mean, just give him chance to start. And I mean, at this point, I don't care who starts, to be
Fair
honest.
enough.
But,
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, definitely you have to see like whether you are going to give the farewell to the players, or you are going to put a strong performance to show something, or I mean, to give something back to the fans. But kind of a combination of both, a player strong team and a half strong team and a couple of youth players, just to show, I mean, just to give us the confidence that the future also is there with the players that we have in the youth system. So I mean, kind of a blend of both the senior players as well as the youth players.
Yeah, I've got the feeling that we might struggle again today. I feel like just the quality Villa have, the way they are, the way they're coached. Even though it's at home and it is the last game, I don't see United grabbing anything at all, especially with that back line. That back line is Maguire and Lindelof again. I thought it was interesting to listen to Ruben Amorim's embargo section of the pre-match for Villa, and he was saying, like, on reflection now, because he wanted to come in the summer. Is it better or worse to come in 6 months earlier? And he actually said, no, I think it's better, because now he knows all the problems, he knows what the expectations are, he knows what needs doing, basically, heading into the summer, which I thought, I don't know, I just thought that was an interesting comment, because he was adamant. He was like, no, I want to come in the summer, I want to finish the league with Sporting, who had just won the league, by the way, again. But then obviously he was rushed to come in. You've seen what's happened since. You think a manager would regret that, right? But he's saying, no, it's better because he knows the problems.
Yeah, I think I mean, the expectation when he came back was, I mean, we were already falling down, but the expectation was somewhere, the hope was there that we can still somewhere finish
Manager
nearby.
bounce.
yeah, kind of a top four.
Mm.
But then again, it kept on falling backwards, and we had some injury issues here and there. But again, I mean, with the manager of this level, I mean, I expected more, to be honest, and only the Europa thing saved him from that reaction that saved from the reaction of those games we played in the Premier League. And I think, but I mean, if we leave all the negatives behind, we have now we see like where we stand and what it requires, and this position of us is will push us to clear out many players out. If we would have won Europa League, then I think we would have been more easy on the players, but
Yeah.
with that defeat, that will make us more harsh towards the players. And I think this was required in my opinion, it was required because the Europa League we qualified only because we won the FA Cup, and we were qualifying Champions League because only we were winning the
Yeah.
Europa League.
Yeah.
So that should not be the case with Manchester United. You should, I mean, kind of be
Earn it.
consistent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, you have to, I mean, be consistent in the Premier League and all the games, and you
Mm.
earn your place in Champions League through the right direction, not the back
Yeah.
gate. So that's where I want to see United qualifying.
Well, it seems like Villa are going to earn it anyway, because I imagine they're going to get the win today. They've got a couple of players in really good form. Yuri Tillemans has been unbelievable for them, and he was available on a free. We all remember those conversations around United, and we kind of didn't go for it, whereas Villa did. Ollie Watkins, like I said, is been getting a few goals and assists in the past couple of games. He'll be looking to add to the tally. 7 wins from the last 10. They've got multiple threats across the pitch. So this is going to be a difficult. This is the last team, one of the last teams you want, quite literally last game of the season. But then again, we've almost been beaten by everyone. So yeah, just the last few questions before we get into predictions. Usually we do manager quotes, but because we've been speaking about so much, the game's nearly kicking off. So yeah, just the last few things. Bruno Fernandes, I know we touched on him slightly before. In your heart of heart, right now, do you think he goes? Yes or no?
I think no, he will stay.
Okay. What other big names would you throw in the hat who you think definitely will go?
I mean, big names. I mean, some are expected, like Casemiro. I think he will leave, and Hoyland. I think that is one of the names I can see that leaving because it's not easy to. Sell players who you have just bought for so much of money. And apart from that, I mean, there are. I mean, all are obvious players who are going out. But if you say the high profiles, I think Casemiro and Hoyland, he will leave, and even Mason Mount. I can see him going out.
Oh, interesting. Okay. The manager has a speech today at Old Trafford. He's going to speak on the microphone to the fans. He said there's going to be a form of apology in there, and they're going to do a lap of honour because it is tradition. What are you expecting from both? So, what do you think the manager will say, and then what do you think? How do you think the fans will react on the lap of honour?
I mean, only depends on what Amorim's put in the words there. I mean, it's kind of if it is a motivational and anyhow he's going to. I mean, it's expected that they will accept the performance, the bad performance, and then they will give some confidence for the next season. But I would rather say, I mean, the fans like let it be. I mean, whatever is done is done. We cannot change that. But I mean, a good posture towards the manager, and that will give some confidence for him for his job because we are dependent on them to put in the great performance. If we kind of criticize more these players and the managers, then definitely it's going to hit us back only because that will drop their confidence level. So I mean, what's done is done. Let's pick it up from where we have fallen down, and maybe kind of a happy ending to this season.
Yeah.
Manager giving the speech and the fans cheering up. I think a lot of fans have accepted the defeat. I think that's going to be a good ending, and that's what I can see from
Mm.
this point. But the hatred is not that open towards Amorim, but it's open towards the players. But with Amorim, I think I can see that still that connectivity is there with the fans. So
Mm-hmm.
I can see some positives going around in that
Yeah.
speech.
I think next season, though, the fan support of Amarin will slowly fade if he doesn't start getting results. That has to be said. But I think with a good pre-season and someone behind him, hopefully, I mean, we can't have another season like this year. It'd just be catastrophic. So, yeah, fingers crossed with that one. I have to say as well, it is the last game, the last week of the Premier League. So, I mean, it's all to fight for. Forest are fighting Chelsea for Champions League football. City are away at Fulham. We've got Newcastle playing as well. I can't remember who they're playing. But loads of people fighting for Champions League football. All the teams who are being relegated are already relegated. Liverpool's won the league. So, yeah, it's just European football, basically, that's being fought for. And also, as well, there is there's protests ongoing outside the ground at the minute from the 1958 to symbolise 20 years ownership of the Glazers. And obviously they're not happy and we're not happy as fans, so they are protesting against that. That is ongoing. All the stuff is on social media for that. Lastly, Dan, let's just do a prediction for the game. Just, how are you feeling? What's going to happen? Yellow cards, goals, whatever you want.
I think Bruno again will get the yellow card, as always. Bruno and maybe Casemiro also getting yellow card, and I think it will end up with a draw. And one interesting thing I can say is Højlund with the goal.
Rasmus Højlund with the goal. Wow, you are a lot more optimistic than me, mate.
I mean, I can see that coming when Rasmus Højlund putting up his top performance, and we are, I mean, kind of then club goes like, can we keep him or not?
Yeah, I get you. I'm going to go, I think Villa beat us 3-1. I think Bruno scores, and I think it's emotional goodbyes for a couple of the players. Just go with that. I think that's fair. Listen, everyone, it's the end of the season, but it's not the end of Real Red Talk. We keep going day in, day out. So, I mean, the summer, we were just speaking about how big it's going to be and how fascinating it's going to be. We are going to be covering that by the minute, whether it's on social media, whether it's live on YouTube, everywhere we're going to be. So please do subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, and drop us a follow on social medias. Me and Sam will be live after the game discussing the full match, maybe a bit of the season, maybe have a whiskey or two, and yeah, kind of review it with all you guys. So hopefully we see you in the chat. And me and Dan, go on.
Yeah, just one point. If United want to make me happy today, then I would like to see Martinez cry.
Yeah. Well, the goalkeeper. Yeah, you don't like him, do you?
Yeah.
There you go. One wish. Ask the genie. We'll see you in the next one, guys. After the game. See you in a bit.